Hey guys, what is up? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to another video. It is Tea Time Talks Day. I have my mug of tea sitting down here at my feet because it's hot and I didn't want to spill it all over myself while I introduced you guys to the video, because I would have. So today's topic, I wanted to talk about Gilmore Girls with you guys because it is my favorite TV show. My older sister and I both got really into it about my sophomore year of high school, and since then I have rewatched it time and time again. It is just like a big comfort blanket to me whenever I am feeling sad, whenever I am doing something and I need just noise in the background. Whenever I'm packing, I put on Gilmore Girls because it just fills me with warmth and comfort and happiness. My sister and I even have matching paintings that I made for us last summer. Hers says, "Where you lead," and mine says, "I will follow." And they have little tea mugs that match our bedrooms up at school. And yeah, they're big cups of tea. So that doesn't show you how big of a tea drinker I am. It should. I'm gonna take a sip. Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. It tastes so good. It's PG Tips brand. Black tea. Delicious. So, Gilmore Girls, if you haven't seen it yet, it is on Netflix. All 7 seasons, plus the revival that they made a couple of years back. And honestly, it is such an amazing show. I recommend everyone should check it out. It is not just a girly type of show, which a lot of people assume it is, because it's called Gilmore Girls and it is about a mother and her daughter. There are a lot of manly characters in this show, so don't judge a show by its title. I honestly just love it so much. My favorite character would probably have to be Jess, who is one of Rory's boyfriends. He comes in the second season. He is also Luke's nephew, and he's just the type of rebellious guy that you shouldn't date, but appeals to everyone. But he's also like secretly really nerdy. He loves to read. In my opinion, he has one of the best character arcs. He kind of starts out as the tortured, rebellious teenage boy. No one understands him except for Rory. And then he really develops and becomes this really strong character and becomes one of the best influences in Rory's life. I'm not going to give any spoilers away, though you should watch the show, and if you haven't watched the show yet, I mean, come on. It was literally on in the 2000s and now it's on Netflix. You should watch it, but you should have watched it by now. But yeah, they're just so good together. Breaks my heart that they're not together. So now I'm going to talk about Lorelai because I mean, you can't talk about Gilmore Girls without talking about the Gilmore Girls themselves. I really love Lorelai's character because she is such a self-sufficient woman. She has been a single mother who had Rory at 16 years old, and she was able to raise her into a beautiful young woman who was kind and easy to get along with and always put other people's needs first. And I think it's really amazing to see a woman, especially in the early 2000s, which wasn't as much of a feminist time, but slowly getting into the more feminist times, to see a woman who was able to support herself and a child at such a young age and be able to work her way up to be a manager at an inn where she started out as a maid. It's really amazing to see that development in a character. And of course, she has her flaws. What character doesn't? She is somewhat immature when it comes to certain decisions, certain life things, but I have a feeling that is because she became a mother so young and she didn't really get to live out her childhood, her teenage years, become an adult, get to go to college and all that. And that's not an excuse, but at the same time, anyone who is thrown into a situation like that, you don't know how they're going to end up completely. And her relationships throughout the show really show who she is, how she ends up with Luke. That's such a strong romantic arc, but also her other boyfriends like Max and Christopher. Like, it's really interesting to see how she goes through all of these guys but ends up with the right one, which is life. It's not like Glee, for example, where this one character starts out with another character, and over time they just magically end up together, even if they do date other people. It's really human to go through a series of relationships and not necessarily end up with that one person you started with. You grow and you learn and you develop with relationships. And I think Gilmore Girls really shows that. And I think they do a great job of this with Rory, because Rory starts out the series falling in love for a guy named Dean, who is played by Jared Padalecki from Supernatural, which is really ironic because he plays Sam and his brother's name is Dean. Long story. But they start dating in season 1 and they date until season 3 when they inevitably break up and she ends up dating Jess. But they get back together. I'm sorry, I keep looking down. But they inevitably get back together in season 5 when Rory is a sophomore in college. And I think it kind of shows how we outgrow our past relationships as we grow up, and how dating someone when you're a sophomore in high school, a junior in high school, even a senior in high school, it's not necessarily going to be the same relationship when you get to be in university. So, and speaking of Rory, I want to dive more into her character because she has one of the weirdest character arcs, I want to say. She starts out as such a strong character, very independent, very much a lover of books, very smart, and then somehow she ends up being the girl who drops out of university because someone tells her that she can't do her dream job. Which I was kind of like, really? If that had been me, I would have worked harder to prove them wrong. Another thing about Rory is I feel like a lot of the characters filled her ego a little bit, and that's why when she was shut down so much that she felt like she couldn't continue because everyone else had kind of told her, you're amazing, you could do whatever you want to do, and all that. And that's not realistic, because as smart as you can be in high school, that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to thrive as well in university. And like I said, Rory started out amazing. She worked hard to do whatever she could. She started out at a brand new school at the bottom of her class and worked her way up to being valedictorian, which is amazing. But at the same time, how does that girl turn into someone who gives up so easily? It just didn't seem like realistic character development. But like I said, I love the show. It's my favorite show. You could disagree with me all you want. That's fine. I don't care. Disagree with me. It is my opinion and you have yours and I have mine, and we can accept each other's because that's human life. And these videos are all about me talking about my opinion. My opinion. You can tell me yours in the comments below. But yeah, Gilmore Girls. I also really love the character development of Emily Gilmore, who is Lorelai's mother and Rory's grandmother throughout the entire original series to the revival. And the reason that I haven't talked about the revival much is because it really isn't one of my favorite things. I don't know how to refer to it. It's 4 episodes long. Each episode is an hour and a half, I believe. But I was never a huge fan of it. It kind of upset me, actually. I watched it, I rewatched it, and I decided that it wasn't horrible, but it still wasn't my favorite. It wasn't kind of how I wanted the series to end, which is human. But I did love Emily's character development. If you didn't know, the actor who played Richard Gilmore, Ed Herman, passed away before they filmed the revival. So he was in all of the original series, all 7 seasons, and then he passed away before the revival was filmed. So one of the main stories throughout the revival is how Emily learns to live without her husband of so long. And I think it is amazing to kind of see how she goes from being this housewife, DAR, like, I've been set up to be like a socialite and run my house a certain way and all that, and becomes much more down to earth. And it shows you how losing a loved one can affect you and change you in different ways, but maybe for the better sometimes. And even though we are always going to love our loved ones even when they're gone, we can't always stay focused on losing them, and we have to sometimes move on and grow after we lose them, because they wouldn't want us to stay so focused on their passing. They'd want us to move on and keep going with life and keep growing as a human. And I think her character development was truly amazing. Unlike Rory's. I'm not going to talk about that though, because I don't want to be negative right now. I'm trying to think what else I can talk about Gilmore Girls. It's just such an amazing show. If you ever need something that's just heartwarming, but has like some drama to it, and just a lot of fun, and it's hilarious with all the speed talking and everything, I recommend watching it. It has some of the best one-liners and such quippy moments, and you have to get used to the show because Lorelai and Rory, like, they go fast. Like, it's fast, fast, fast. They go very fast. They talk very fast. It is just something the show is known for. Lorelai and Rory are big coffee addicts. It's like a whole thing how addicted to coffee they are. It literally starts off the entire series in the first episode, and it shows you how much like the caffeine feeds into their personalities and whatnot, and it's just so entertaining. So I recommend watching it. I want to know your guys' opinions on Gilmore Girls, who your favorite characters are, what your favorite moments from the show are. My favorite episode is season 3, and it's called They Shoot Gilmores, Don't They? And it is the episode where Rory and Jess actually end up getting together. It also takes place at a dance marathon, and everyone's dressed up in 1940s wear. And it's honestly just my favorite episode, hands down. I don't know why, it just is. I even have a t-shirt that says "Nothing says coffee like 6 in the morning," which is a quote from the episode. I just love that episode so much. It's so good. I don't know why. It's my favorite, hands down. Season 3 is probably my favorite season, so that probably has something to do with it. But yeah, I just love that season and that episode. So let me know what your favorite episode from Gilmore Girls is down below, who your favorite character is. I know this video has been a bit shorter, but that's life sometimes. Let me know what else you guys would like me to talk about in these videos, because I am not always sure. I have a couple of ideas for the next few videos, but I'd also like to hear what you guys would like me to talk about, because maybe it's something I've never heard about and I should look into, or just something that I already love that maybe you know, and that would give me inspiration to talk about something that I love. I'll probably address Harry Potter at some point, Marvel. I just watched Into the Spider-Verse, which I know I'm really late, but they just put it on Netflix, so give me a break. And I'm gonna talk about that soon. I'll probably talk about Stranger Things next, because the new season came out, but I want to give people time to watch it and get to know what's happening in the next season. I promise there will be a spoiler warning before I talk about anything that involves spoilers, because the new season just came out, but oh my god, that new season was so good. So that's probably going to be next Tea Time Talks. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. My social media handles are down in the doobly-doo, and also the link to my Patreon. Please, if you guys can support me in any way, shape, or form, that would be amazing. It's gonna make me able to create more videos for you guys, and better quality, better quantity. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. Happy Tea Day. Enjoy. Bye guys.